Question: if I was to ask you what was LeBron James' best season in the NBA, what would you say? It seems like there's infinite answers to this question with the amount of time LeBron James has spent in the league. Maybe you would say 2013, the stone cold killer from Miami, probably the best defensive peak of LeBron's career, winning back-to-back championships in that year. Maybe you would say 2018 LeBron, the guy who completely shouldered the Cleveland Cavaliers on his back and dragged them to the NBA Finals. Maybe you'd say 2016 LeBron. Beating the greatest team of all time in the finals is no joke. Maybe you would opt in for a younger LeBron James in 2007 where he took the poverty Cavs to the finals. Or maybe you would opt in for the old man James in 2020 where his playmaking, leadership, and basketball IQ were all top notch. Or what if I told you that none of these answers were correct?
Williams to inbound, now Varejao. They get it to LeBron. Turiaf's on him at 3 and 2. LeBron to win the game. He does! He does!
The greatest single season that LeBron James has ever played is the 2008-09 season. And you're probably thinking, there's no way this season beats out 2013, 2016, or 2018. LeBron lost in the conference finals this year, but I promise if you watch the whole video, you'll at least consider 2009 as his best season. In the 2008-09 season, LeBron James was, to simply put it, a different breed. While LeBron didn't do anything out of the ordinary in terms of his stat line, averaging 28 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists, 1.7 steals, and 1.1 blocks, this was statistically his greatest season. The Cleveland Cavaliers in 2009 had a record of 66-16, finishing as the 1 seed in the East and slightly edging out the Lakers for the best record in the league. The 2009 Cavs had a starting lineup of Mo Williams, Delonte West, LeBron James, a 34-year-old Ben Wallace, and Zydrunas Ilgauskas. I think it's safe to say that LeBron has had better starting lineups during his career. When looking at the greatest teams of NBA history, there's only been 13 other teams better than the 2009 Cavs, and 3 that have the same record. That being the 2016 Warriors, the 96 Bulls, the 97 Bulls, the 72 Lakers, the 67 76ers, the 73 Celtics, the 86 Celtics, the 92 Bulls, the 07 Mavs, the 2015 Warriors, the 2017 Warriors, the 2000 Lakers, and the Spurs from 2016. But what separates the 2009 Cavs from the rest of the elite juggernauts on this list is the supporting cast the other stars had with them. We already mentioned the starting lineup that LeBron had around the Cavs this year, but what about the rest of the teams I just named off? When looking at the supporting cast of the 09 Cavs, using points, rebounds, and assists, LeBron James had a combined 43.2, while his next 4 teammates, Mo Williams, Delonte West, Ben Wallace, and Zydrunas Ilgauskas, had productions of 25.3, 18.4, 21.4, and 10.2. Honestly, not that great. First, looking at the production of LeBron James, when comparing his 43.2 combined points, rebounds, and assists compared to the other first options on the 17 other teams that are either better or have the same record, his name still sticks out amongst the rest, beating out players like Steph Curry, Michael Jordan, Jerry West, Larry Bird, Kevin Durant, even himself in 2013, and more. As a matter of fact, LeBron James has the 4th best production score of these juggernaut teams, only losing to Wilt Chamberlain with the 1967 76ers, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar with the 1971 Bucks, and Shaquille O'Neal with the 2000 Lakers. And you could even make the argument that LeBron's 2009 production was better than Wilt and Kareem. Adjusting for the inflation of pace of play Wilt and Kareem had in the late 60s and early 70s, and considering the fact that all 3 of these players above LeBron were hyper-gifted 7-foot-plus basketball demigods, to even make things more impressive for 09 LeBron, we can look at the exact same points, rebounds, and assist numbers from the supporting cast these legends had, aka their 4 best players around them. When looking at the top 4 players outside of the number 1 option, we see, likely due to inflation of the 60s and 70s, teams like the Bucks, Lakers, 76ers, and Celtics all have pretty high combined numbers. The 2017 Warriors were just a walking juggernaut of a basketball team. The 90s Bulls had decent supporting casts for that era, but it's the 2009 Cleveland Cavaliers supporting cast that takes dead last here, only combining for a total of 75.3 points, rebounds, and assists a game. I think it's no secret that LeBron James was pretty much dragging this team through the mud this whole season. LeBron in 09 was so elite that he led the Cleveland Cavaliers in points, rebounds, assists, steals, and blocks, the Big Five. Do you know how many other players have done this before in NBA history? Only 4 others. Going from oldest to youngest, Dave Cowens of the Boston Celtics in 1978 also achieved this, averaging 18.6 points, 14 rebounds, 4.6 assists, 1.3 steals, and 0.9 blocks. Scottie Pippen during the second year of Michael Jordan's absence in 1995 averaged 21.4 points, 8.1 rebounds, 5.2 assists, 2.9 steals, and 1.1 blocks. Kevin Garnett did this in 2003, averaging 23 points, 13.4 boards, 6 assists, 1.4 steals, and 1.6 blocks. And lastly, a 23-year-old Giannis did this in 2017, averaging 22.9 points, 8.8 boards, 5.4 assists, 1.6 steals, and 1.9 blocks. But what separates LeBron James here from the other 4 is the playoff success LeBron had during this legendary statistical feat. Dave Cowens and the Celtics in 1978 didn't even sniff the playoffs with a record of 32-50. Kevin Garnett in 2003 and Giannis in 2017 both got eliminated in the first round. Scottie Pippen and the Bulls got the closest to Captain America, getting knocked out in the second round. But LeBron and the Cavs outlasted the pack, making it to the conference finals.
The Orlando Magic have defeated the Cleveland Cavaliers in 6, and they are headed to the finals for the first time since 1995.
The only real blemish on LeBron James' 2009 season was that without a doubt would make this by far the best season of his career and probably give him the edge in the GOAT debate is the fact that the 66-16 one-seeded Cleveland Cavaliers, a top 17 team in NBA history like we mentioned, didn't win a championship. I mean, they didn't even make it to the finals, losing to the 3-seeded Orlando Magic in 6 games. Fans may like to argue that LeBron's best year was 2012, 2013, 2016, or 2020 because LeBron finished the job that year, unlike 2009. But what if I told you that LeBron played his best playoff basketball during the 2009 playoffs? Don't believe me? Honestly, I wouldn't either if someone told me this. Game score is one of the best statistics in the game of basketball for measuring a player's single game performance. If you guys have watched previous videos of mine before, you know how much I love using this stat. For those of you who aren't familiar, game score is a stat that calculates the overall production a single player gave in one game, and it pretty much factors in everything under the sun to give us an accurate calculation. To give us some context about how good or bad a score is, anything from 0 to 10 is relatively bad, a very insignificant contributor to the team. Anything from 10 to 15 is an average performance from an average NBA player. 15 to 20 is above average, either a really good game from a role player or a slightly below average game from a star player. 20 to 25 is about the average night for a star player, a very good performance. 25 to 30 is an elite performance from a superstar, and anything over 30 would be an incredible game, and games ranging in the high 30s and above are historic single game performances. The highest game score of all time was from Michael Jordan on March 28, 1990, where Michael Jordan had a game score of 64.6 and a stat line of 69 points, 18 rebounds, 6 assists, 4 steals, and 1 block, while shooting 23 of 37 from the field. Luka Doncic last January against the Hawks was a hair away from breaking Michael Jordan's game score record with a score of 60.0 and a stat line of 73 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists, and 1 steal on 25 of 33 from the field. Getting back on track, right here we have a chart that shows the average game score of every single playoff series of LeBron's career. The dots in blue are his days with the Cavs, the red dots are with the Heat, and the yellow dots are with the Lakers. As we can see, LeBron James has played a lot of playoff series. LeBron's highest playoff peak of all time was against the Raptors in 2018. Never forget about LeBronto. Down here, we have a couple of forgettable LeBron James meltdowns, like the 2011 NBA Finals against Dallas and the 2007 Finals against the Spurs. But the 2 seasons that clearly stand out amongst the rest are 2009 and 2018. 2 of LeBron's 3 greatest playoff series and 3 of LeBron's 7 greatest playoff series were in the 2009 playoffs. But if we take the average of each playoff series from each separate year, do you know which playoff run comes out on top? You guessed it, the 2009 NBA playoffs, where LeBron played better than he did in any other year with an average game score of exactly 30 from those 3 playoff rounds. 2018 and 2017 are pretty close at second and third, coming in at around 28. LeBron's 2020 Lakers championship run actually breaks the top 5, showing just how good LeBron has been in his old man years. In 2009, the best postseason year according to GameScore, LeBron first swept the Pistons in the first round with a stat line of 32 points, 11 rebounds, 7 assists, 1.5 steals, and 0.8 blocks and 50.6% shooting. After dismantling Detroit, LeBron swept the Hawks, averaging 34 points, 8 boards, 6 assists, 2.5 steals, and 0.5 blocks and 55% shooting. Finally, it was time for LeBron to get his revenge on Dwight Howard and the Magic. LeBron, despite averaging a criminal 38, 8, 8, 1, and 1 and 49% shooting, couldn't quite pull ahead, losing to the Magic in 6 games. Despite not winning a championship, this collection of playoff performances in 2009 are something that's never been topped by the King. Despite all the points I brought up to support 2009 LeBron, I haven't even gotten to my main argument yet. If someone were to ask me why I think 2009 LeBron is the best version of the King we've ever seen, and I couldn't spend 15 minutes yapping to them, I would just tell them awards and advanced stats. LeBron in the 2008-9 season put up a regular season accolade resume that's never been topped so far. As we're all aware, LeBron James has a laundry list of awards to his name, but when we look at the regular season achievements season by season, from age 19 to 39, it looks a little something like this. From his Rookie of the Year in 2004 to his All-Star and All-NBA selection at 39 years old, this is everything LeBron James has achieved during the regular season. Of every single great season LeBron James has put up, I think it's clear that 4 seasons stand out amongst the rest. That being 2009, 2010, 2012, and 2013, the 4 years he won MVP. On top of that, he was also an All-Star on the All-NBA First Team, on the All-Defensive First Team, and placed top 4 in Defensive Player of the Year voting. But we can still filter this even more. 2 seasons stand out from these 4. The 2 seasons that LeBron placed second in Defensive Player of the Year voting, that being 2009 and 2013. That are without a doubt the greatest regular seasons that LeBron James has ever had. They even finished with the same record. Finally, to put the nail in the coffin of 2009 being the GOAT season for LeBron, let's talk about the advanced stats real quick. And spoiler alert, 2009 LeBron pretty much dominates all of these categories. I'm sure you guys are familiar with the concept of advanced stats. If you watch even a little bit of basketball, they give us the best estimate of on-court production, impact, effectiveness, and efficiency. But when looking at the realm of advanced stats, the big 4 of these advanced numbers are player efficiency rating, win shares, box plus minus, and value over replacement. Starting off with PER, a stat that shows per minute production from a player. 2009 LeBron wins PER with a score of 31.67, followed by 2013 LeBron in a very close second, and 2010 and 2012 slightly behind them. The 2009 season from LeBron places 7th place, only behind Nikola Jokic, Giannis 2 years, Wilt Chamberlain 2 years, and Michael Jordan in 1988. Next, moving on to win shares, which, like the name says, shows an estimate of how many team wins a player is responsible for. LeBron James in 2009 takes the cake for this stat, the only season from him in which he breaks 20 individual win shares. The 2009 season from LeBron places 17th place all time, but when looking at players past the ABA and NBA merger in 1976, he only pales to MJ. The next stat we have is box plus minus, which shows the amount of points a player contributed to their team per 100 possessions. To no one's surprise at this point, 2009 LeBron has the highest score, sitting at 13.24, a comfortable lead over the next highest, 2010. LeBron's 2009 campaign in box plus minus only comes short to Nikola Jokic in 2022, who was just on a mission of his own. And finally, to wrap things up, value over replacement, which shows how many wins a player is over the average NBA player. And once again, do I even need to say it? 2009 LeBron is sitting at first place with a sizable margin over the rest of the competition, only placing second all-time below Jordan from '88. And this rests my case for LeBron's 2008 and 2009 season being his best. Be sure to leave a comment on what season you think LeBron's best was and why.